In Cremona Quartet strings, you can control performance parameters like vibrato intensity and speed, instrument volume, expression and fingering, and mic settings in the multi-mic versions. Since it's impossible to record all of those at the same time, you'll need to edit controller automation during the mix. You could use Logic's graphical tools, but what if you want to use your controller to record automation during mixing? You can. The simplest way to do this is with track automation using a smart control. You could also record continuous controller data without a smart control, or record with smart controls into your region. But these options cause additional headaches if you want to redo it, since redoing automation over itself in a region causes unusable results as your work gets merged with the previous pass. Track automation is simpler because you can use Logic's various automation modes such as touch, latch, or write, and redo it until you're satisfied without causing unwanted results. So let's connect to Smart Control and get going. Cremona ships with pre-populated host automation slots including vibrato intensity, vibrato speed, vibrato style, fingerboard position, and expression. These will show up in Logic as smart controls automatically in a single instrument instance of Kontakt. If you've got all 4 parts in a multi-output instrument stack, you'll need to customize your smart controls. First, let's look at a single part instance. To set up automation for one of these parameters, open Smart Controls, move your desired smart control knob with your mouse, hit Command L, to invoke the Learn mode, then move your controller on your control surface and your connection is complete. To record track automation for a smart control, open a smart control lane for the parameter you want to record from the Tracks Parameters drop-down in the Arrangement window. Next, put it in touch or latch mode, press play, and you're in business. Now, if you have all 4 quartet instruments in one Kontakt instance, you'll notice there's a whole long list of automation assignments. Smart controls only show the first 8 assignments on that list by default, so you'll need to configure smart controls for a parameter when you want to use it. Customize your smart control by opening the info pane in the smart controls window, then select the parameter for that part from the parts parameter list. You'll find it near the end of the long list. You'll be redoing the assignment for each control as you need it. When you have a multi loaded, you'll find multiple instances of each parameter, one for each part. You'll pick the one that corresponds to the order of the stack in Kontakt. It's a good idea to avoid making changes to the stack during a project. If you swap out a single version of viola for a multi-mic version, for example, it'll void its prior host automation assignments and add them again at the bottom of the list, changing its order in the list in Logic. If you want to automate the dynamics control in Cremona, you'll need to create a host automation connection for it in Kontakt by dragging it over onto the parameter control in the part, then set up a custom control for it. You may notice there's many ways to control volume of an instrument or part in Logic, and it's easy to lose track of which is which. In Cremona, these are main volume, MIDI volume, dynamics or modulation, and expression, all at either the region or track level, or note velocity in some cases at the region level. You can rotate quickly through your active parameters to see what's going on and delete any data you don't need. If you're importing MIDI from Finale or some other notation program, you might have mod wheel data already in the track, which will control the dynamics slider in Cremona. You could just leave it in there to perform your score markings, or set it to a constant level and use one of the several other means of controlling volume in your Logic mix. Use either the region's mod wheel lane to set a level for it, or delete any data there and create a smart control for it by assigning it to a host automation slot in Kontakt. Then add a track automation lane for it. CC1, the mod wheel, needs to be set somewhere. If it's down, none of the other controls work. It's like the volume knob on the instrument. If you want to use the curve you wrote for another parameter, say for instance the same curve for both vibrato rate and vibrato intensity, You can copy and convert your automation in the Arrange window by option-clicking your lane and selecting the new destination, and then choose Convert and Copy. Now, about using Cremona's Keyswitches in Logic. You use them to call up samples of different articulations and techniques to make your MIDI performance more realistic. There are two ways to edit them. Either draw them into the piano roll, old style, or use Articulation Sets, which are much faster and easier to use after you set them up. They assign an ID to each key switch, which you attach to notes in the MIDI editor. You can start playback from anywhere, knowing you're triggering the correct sample. Articulation Sets have their own editor and are saved outside Logic, so they can be used in any session. There's a useful tutorial linked in the description below. After creating a set, select the note or range of notes, and then choose the desired articulation from the Articulation Sets pull-down.